What is up,
What's up, man?
man?
Yes.
Two
What a game,
games,
dude.
2 wins. So let's talk about it,
Dude,
really
we're one of
fast.
5, man. 1 of 5.
1 of 5. Fast start. What record would we have had last year if Chet had played at this level that we're seeing?
Ooh, you're gonna start off right off the bat, man.
Because I mean, he looked special out there. He didn't look like
So
a rookie.
no, he didn't. I want to say this. I don't know how impactful Chet would have been in the beginning of the season last year. I think I'm pretty sure he would have been incredibly impactful. But let's just play the devil advocate right here. All right. Let's just say Chet, right, was a guy that averaged 2 blocks a game last year.
Okay.
And he picked up 7-8 rebounds,
Okay.
and put out
Fair.
20 minutes.
All right.
I think that would have been probably a good output for him last year as being a rookie. But the fact is that we saw him play 31 minutes. In 31 minutes, this is how fucked it is, bro. Everybody's talking about Victor, right? Victor this, Victor that right now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Chet's numbers next to Victor, they're not very far off. Victor had 21. Chet had 17, right? Except Chet had 7 fucking blocks. And I'll be honest with you, I think he had 9 blocks because there's 2 blocks that they did not count. I don't know how they didn't count. Also, they didn't count a steal. I don't know how they missed a steal of Chet's because he stole on the I think it was an inbounds play, bro. They didn't count it.
Or
right?
those Cavs score.
I don't know, dude. I don't know what happened, but he got gypped from some stats. So I feel bad for him, but on the same sense, he's going to have to earn that. So when it's all said and done, Chet stats were amazing. 13 rebounds, I don't know, 2 assists,
So
1
game
steal.
changer in every sense of the way.
Yeah, I mean, like
you might look at it and say, 17 points. That's not 21. That's not 25. That's not 34. But at the same time,
they couldn't drive to the hole. Like we went on a 13-0 run, and the reason we went on a 13-0 run is because they couldn't get to the hole.
Yeah,
like Dort and Kaysen were just going back and forth against Donovan Mitchell and just hitting him. And then even Mitchell gets to the lane in the very last shot they get, right? He hits up against Dort because he couldn't go any further because Chet was down there.
Right.
So he had to pull up against a bad shot against Dort. That's how much he's impacting everything right now. And that's why it's so exciting to me. Like you can chalk it up as anything else that you want to, but when push comes to shove, Chet putting him in that offense, putting him in that defense changes everything.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it and say, with that type of
back
impact,
to your question, how many more wins? I say we win 8 more wins, 7 more wins than we did this year. So I think we go 48 wins total.
Okay, but let's just talk about this game. Like down the stretch, we're down 10, 12 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And Chet blocks that shot on Mobley when we're down 6, comes down and hits a 3. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I also look at it and I'm like, we could be surprisingly way better than just 7 more wins better with Chet. Like he could be that big of an impact player down the stretch, where it impacts close games by 7 points instead of because all we needed was 3 or 4 points, and then we're at 50 wins per game. If we had 7 extra points per game, we might be at 60. My point is, Chet is a game changer. Forget his rookie, forget everything. If you added a game changer, which we just did, to this year's team, right now, all of a sudden you have to build on what we did last year. Shai's a better player. Giddey has obviously improved, although some people, they started out being really down on him last year. Don't forget that. There was a lot of naysayers last year at the beginning of the year. They all shut up and went away.
You're right, man.
But they do talk when Giddey starts slow. Who cares? Giddey is a team player first, and he understands what that means.
Always, dude.
Right? J-Dub, slow start, but we all had confidence in J-Dub. Shout out Unk. And we were sure that J-Dub was going to come through, and he made the biggest plays of the game for us. Him and Chet did. Think about that, Dave. The biggest plays of the game came from the first and second year guys, and then all Shai did was close. All Shai did was close. I mean, this is incredible, dude. We have a 60-win team on our hands, guys. I know people are still looking and they're not sure if they want to give them 50, but we have a 60-win team on our hands, guys, right now.
I want to say Shai was the most impressive thing that I saw all night. All right. His 34 points came with only 2 free throws, which
That was
came,
work.
I think, like 6 seconds or 4 seconds left in the game.
That was work.
Think about that. A lot of people said that Shai would never be able to average 30 points a game with, not getting 10 free throws, getting to
Right.
the line 5 times or, whatever. But he can. And he showed it. Like, he was having trouble scoring for a very short amount of time, but he shot 24 shots, man. That's what you need from your shooting guard out there. You need that type of mentality. There was times that we're like, I want to say there was a few moments, right, where we had some players that were just trying to do too much out there, right? But what happened is that it was them trying to do too much and not working within the system. And we had a lot of guys that are being negative. And I kept on saying, keep these guys in the game, keep J-Dub in the game, right? And everybody's like, J-Dub's fucking up. And guess what? And on their defense, J-Dub was fucking up. But if you pulled J-Dub out of the game, we wouldn't have seen what J-Dub could do. And J-Dub got an assist on a 3-point shot. He got a 3-point shot himself. He got, I think, a steal or a deflection. Like, the point about letting guys like this, like, work it out, okay, in the last, 90 seconds of the game is key to be able to put yourself in a winning position. And you can't just start saying development over winning over development, right? There comes a place that it all combines and it all goes together. And I think these last 2 games it's a clear indication of what can happen. We put our foot on the gas against the Bulls, and there was a close game, and we just went, bam, 20-point game. And it was like, holy shit, what just happened? We were down 10 points, man. I think we were down 9 points with like a minute and a half to go.
It was crazy.
And we went 3 threes in a row. Bam, 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 bam. And it was like, what the fuck just happened?
We were freaking out, dude.
That's how good it can be in that quick. And that's what's different, man. Like, we don't need, Isaiah Joe shooting threes. We don't need anybody else that's not on the floor. That's what's crazy. We had Chet hit a 3. J-Dub hit a 3. Shai hit a couple threes at the end. Like, it went from nothing to 120. And it's all because of the way that Coach D coaches his team. If you look at the way that he coached his team when wins didn't matter, like, it didn't matter if we got wins because we're in the rebuild stage, right? But Coach D goes out there and he coaches these guys every single game to the very last second. And he makes them believe what's happening. And then he comes into these games that it's like a minute and a half left, 2 minutes left. And he's like, guys, we're down 10, we're down 11, 12. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All we got to do is get 2 quick buckets and get 2 quick stops. And it changes. And that's exactly what happened, man. And it was so quick. It was like, boom, 6 points. And it's like, holy cow, can we really do this? Can we do this? And then all of a sudden, what happens? Chet hits that 3 at the top of the key. Now it's a 3-point game. And then we get a steal. And then Shai hits that 3. Tie game.
Yeah, I mean, it was dude, no doubt.
Like, they couldn't do anything.
There was a couple minutes left, and we were down 12, I think, was the exact number. And Donovan Mitchell hit a 3. We were up by 4 with about 6 seconds left. Okay. So
yeah,
that's a 16-point swing. And even he hits a 3, cuts it to 1, but it doesn't matter because that's how you play a team properly, where like they can hit the 3 and you still ice the game because they're out of timeouts. You hit both of your free throws.
Yep.
And now the best they can do is heave a half-court shot to tie it. That's a proper strangulation of a team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just it's a defensive blitz followed by we're going to hit you really hard in that fourth quarter, so we're just going to keep afloat. Like, sometimes that's what I felt like our offense was doing. We're efficient, we're still incredibly efficient, but it was like we're floating because I kept on saying to myself, it's like, I cannot wait until Coach D has the right lineup in that fourth quarter, because it's going to happen. He's going to find that right lineup in that fourth quarter. And when he does, it's going to go click. And it did. And it was Shai leading the way. Yes, but it wasn't just Shai. Like last year, in order for us to win a game like this, we would have had Shai just take over and score the 13 points right in a row.
What up, Moani?
Right?
What up, George?
But we had Shai, we had J-Dub, we had Chet, we had Dort. We had all these guys just out there hitting big shot after big shot. And you had Josh Giddey finding these guys, man. It was just a beautiful mix of just everything you want to see in a game, especially when you're down by so much with 2 minutes left in the game. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, there's a lot to say about the team defense, but we've talked a lot about individual defense. Chet had 7 blocks, but Shai, George says, had 5 steals. And obviously that 1 block. Individual defensive efforts out the ass.
So what's different, man? I mean, you look at this team. I still think that you have Cason Wallace out there. He's still perfect from 3-point range in 2 games, guys. Like, it's insane. Like, every single player is developing so quickly in such a rapid rate. It's embarrassing to the rest of the league, because you look at some of these guys and you're like, damn, if this guy's develops, and he could be good in a couple of years, and then you realize that he's out of his rookie contract, and you're like, man, do we have a couple years to develop a player that's been in for 4 years? No. Well, you look at the Thunder, and they're developing these players in 1-2 years in a time period of, I would say, 18 months, and getting them ready. Like the first 6 months is a little bit rough. The next 6 months is learning your spot, and the next 6 months is dominating. And we see that next 6 months and really the end of that the first season. And to me, that's what it's powerful, because if you're seeing guys like Cason Wallace do so well in the beginning of the season, that this development is going to continue. That the development of Chet is going to continue. Like I told you, when we got Chet, I said we're going to see Chet have like multiple games where he blocks like 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks a game. Like it's just going to happen this rookie season. And again, last night, that's no exception, man. I mean, truly no exception. Like, really, guys, look at it. Go look at the plays. He has 9 blocks that I can count.
And the biggest defensive play of the game. I mean, seriously.
Yes. And he stole the ball that he got a 3-point shot off that I thought was a foul at the end of the quarter that they didn't count as a steal. So to me, like, there's just so many things that Chet got ripped off of. And I think this just goes back to the NBA wanting a French player to get the Rookie of the Year. Start it now, bro.
Let's talk about our 2 guys, first guys off the bench. One of them is a French player. He's not a rookie, but we're talking about Cason Wallace and Ousmane Dieng. Okay, 19
Love it, dude.
and 20 years old, and these guys are the first guys off the bench for us. They are not letting us down. I know that they're not going to have like every game be perfect, but in the end, what we are getting from them and what Coach Daigneault is doing, you said it last episode, and I just want to echo it. You said with the past teams of the Thunder, Coach Daigneault is the coach that we wish we had. Like, you look around the league and you see young, good coaches who are doing a great job, and we were always stuck with the coaches we had. And here we are. We have the best young coach in the league.
Yeah, and I mean, not just one of the best young coaches in the league, but you got to say is there's a reason why other NBA coaches voted him as the most likely to win Coach of the Year this year. I mean, it just like let that sit for a second. Let that soak for a minute, guys. Coach D was voted on by other coaches as most likely to win Coach of the Year. That tells me everything I need to know about him, is that the league already respects him. Because if he's already, getting this respect from the rest of the league, from the coaches, then it's just a matter of time before the writers see it too. And that's the type of coach we need on this team. Like a coach that can develop himself as a coach as these players are developing as well. It's brilliant.
Absolutely. And this is what brings us back to Mwani. What he said, this is the beginning of a freaking dynasty, bro.
Freaking dynasty, man. 1 win at a time, but the wins start piling up. You know what's going to happen, guys. Tomorrow, 3:30 Eastern, guys, we're going to be doing a podcast live to watch the Denver Nuggets get their ass trashed by the Oklahoma City Thunder, guys. So
Speaking
hope you
of
guys can join us live.
Join us. And Dave, we're gonna put that call-in information in. Please join us. Somebody jump on. We got Unk every episode. We love it. Unk, thank you so much for being there every time. And we would like more and more love to be out there, bro.
Absolutely. It's something that we want to do. Obviously we all got in sync with Unk. We're all cheering our asses off. That was a big moment. So again, appreciate Unk for doing that. That's not easy for anybody to do. So see you guys